Hey guys, welcome back to a new episode of Hellmouth Hotline. I'm your host, Rodney Stewart. We're getting into some more Buffy the Vampire Slayer here in this episode. And just before we get going, I need to say, spoilers! I have came across so many people over the years that haven't seen this show for one reason or another. As I said in the last Buffy episode, like even Star Wars, I'm still to this day coming across people that haven't seen the original trilogy, so it is what it is. So if you've never seen any of Buffy the Vampire Slayer, these episodes are very much spoiler filled, so be warned. If you don't want to know, get out now, you have been warned. So let's get into this review. So Legends, we're back with this episode. It is entitled Innocence, and it's the follow-up to a two-parter, essentially. It's not really billed as a two-parter in the box set, but it ended in a bit of a cliffhanger in the last episode. After making love with Buffy, Angel is racked with pain as his soul is ripped from him. That's where the big spoiler's at. So if you're still here, and I've destroyed it for you. If you're in season 1 and you're just starting into season 2 and you're enjoying the romantic side of the series, I have just destroyed it for you. So yes, that is essentially what the curse is for Angel. He's been cursed by a gypsy clan to suffer for his past crimes as a vampire. His human soul is restored to him, and if he even got a single second of pure happiness, his soul would be taken from him. So that's what's happened here. He has had a go at Buffy, essentially had his moment of happiness, and his soul is torn from him. In the street, he kills a passerby when she offers to help him. He goes to the factory to join Spike and Drusilla, but the judge attacks him. Of course, we've seen him getting resurrected and put back together in the previous episode, and Buffy and Angel just barely escaped with their lives. So when Angel turns up, the judge goes for him, but he's unable to burn him alive because Angel has fully reverted back to the evil Angelus. Spike and Drusilla and Angelus are clearly pleased to be reunited, and Angelus vows to destroy Buffy for how she made him feel when he was Angel. He's like, she made me feel like a human being, and that's just something you just don't forget. You don't forgive that stuff. So Buffy has woken up in the Angel's place. He's gone at this point, and she's all worried, and she's just, Angel was her first sexual encounter, so she is in a bad way, waking up on her own. He's nowhere to be seen. While researching a way to defeat the judge, a demon with the power to destroy the world, whom no weapon forged can harm, Xander and Cordelia are caught kissing in the library by a jealous Willow. We all know Willow had a thing for Xander throughout season 1, and of course Oz is coming into the scene as well in this episode, which is going to be a love interest for her. But seeing Xander with Cordelia is just more than she can kind of handle in this episode, and she's like, that's not good. She's just like, what the hell are you doing, Xander? What about the We Hate Cordelia club, and you were the treasurer of it and whatnot? And he's, he can't get his way out of this one. Like they've been on about trying to hide the whole thing, and they're finally found out in this episode. Where are we at in my notes? I've lost my place. I am so busy talking nonsense, I can't find my place. Okay, Buffy finds Angel in his apartment, not knowing he is now Angelus, and he blows her off, laughing at her as she weeps. He's kind of like, it's a bit of fun, what are you making a big deal of it for anyway? Angelus is good at getting your weak point and really going for it. Like, he's intent on mentally destroying Buffy. Like, Angelus is not the sort of vampire that'll flat out kill someone that he really has a dislike for, and the fact that what Angel and her did together, it's almost like two different characters completely. It's like, whenever Angel has a soul, he still has the demon inside him trying to fight its way out, and he's constantly fighting against that there. It's kind of like the Incredible Hulk sort of a deal. There's those two personalities that I suppose the best way that you could describe it is Infinity War. Whenever Banner could not change to the Hulk, and the Hulk was constantly fighting against him. It's the same sort of thing with Angel and Angelus. So Angelus, now that he's free, has an intense hatred of the version of himself, of the soul, Angel, and of course everything Buffy did, make him feel human. So Jenny Calendar, in this episode, we get to see another side of her where it turns out she's actually a descendant of the clan that originally cursed Angelus and gave him back a soul. And her uncle Enos, I'll probably butchered that name, tells her that if Angel has we've already covered that, if he's got one moment of happiness, the curse placed on him will be broken and the new soul taken from him. Angelus terrorizes Willow and the gang at the school, emotionally tormenting Buffy. Later, as they discuss Angel's transformation in the library, Buffy realises that having sex with Angel was what caused him to turn evil. Buffy has a dream in which Angel indicates that Jenny knows more than she's letting on. That's the interesting thing about this episode. Angelus is on the loose, Angel's gone basically, but in this one dream sequence we get to see the Angel character in the dream, and he kind of points her towards Miss Calendar as, you need to know what to look for, sort of a thing. So the next morning, Buffy confronts Jenny, who tells her that Angelus was cursed with the soul and vengeance for what he did to her people, and that her uncle had tasked her with keeping Buffy and Angel apart. When Buffy, Jenny and Giles arrive at their uncle's home, they find Angelus has brutally killed him. They were on their way to hopefully try to get this guy to recurse Angelus and bring Angel back, but when they get there, he's been killed, and Angel has left a message written on the wall for Buffy. He's written it in the blood of Miss Calendar's uncle, and is like, was it good for you too? And Buffy begins to accept that she is going to have to kill him. So Xander at this point comes up with the idea of this. We've still got the judge to take care of. How the heck are we going to deal with this person? And they've spent a lot of time trying to work out a way of killing him, and it's like no weapon forged can kill him. So Xander has a moment where he, using memories from being a soldier in the episode Halloween, of course, if you remember the Halloween shop, everybody that bought something from it, there was a spell that actually turned them into whatever their costume was. So he had dressed up for Halloween as a soldier, and actually, due to that spell in the episode, actually became a real soldier. So he's got all those memories from actually being a real soldier. He knows absolutely everything possible to know, even the local army barracks in Sunnydale. He's got, he knows the exact plans of the place. So he hatches a plan to kill the judge. He and Cordelia, they break into the army base and they steal a shoulder mounted rocket, and Oz and Willow, they're outside waiting for them to come out, and Willow is trying to make her move on Oz. He's playing it cool, and she's trying to get him to go in for the kiss, sort of a thing, and Oz declines Willow's offer to make out, as he suspects that she only wants to make Xander jealous. And he's like, I can wait. The casual observer would think that you're only doing this here to, get at Xander for whatever's going on. And I would rather, when I kiss you, you're actually kissing me because you want to kiss me, sort of a deal. So, yes, that's a nice moment between those two characters. So we get down to tracking down the judge. We're heading up towards the end of the episode. He is trying to build up his energy to make the massive attack that they're all worried about happening. Sorry if you can hear my stomach rumbling in the background, guys. I am just literally through the door from a gym session tonight, and I downed a pint of protein before I started this episode, so it's processing nicely, so I think you might be able to hear that in the background, and my stomach making serious noises. Anyway, the judge needs to kill people, absorb their energy to get himself the full strength to do whatever the heck he's going to do. So the judge, Angel, and Drusilla, along with the rest of the vampires, head off to the local mall cinema to attack the shoppers, to kill as many people as they can. Of course, Spike can't go because he's in a wheelchair at this point. I don't know if I've actually covered that in the past episode, but we had the introduction of Spike and Drusilla where she was injured from a past battle, so the majority of the season up to this point nearly was trying to get her back to full strength. And then after that big confrontation where the two of them were almost killed, the roles kind of switched right there. So Spike is now the one that's injured and he's in a wheelchair, so he's not part of this attack in this episode. So the judge, Angelus, Drusilla, the rest of the vampires, they're in the mall ready to attack, slaughtering the mall crowd. And Buffy turns up with a crossbow, shoots the master in the chest, and he's like, rips it out and throws it away. And he's like, what the heck are you trying to do? No weapon forged can kill me. And she was like, well, that was then, and this is now. And she lifts this rocket launcher and blows him to pieces, just as Angelus and Drusilla jump to safety, and she makes a run for it. Last you see her in the episode. Buffy stalks on Angelus through the fleeing crowd. When he ambushes her, they battle ferociously. The fight sequence at the end of this episode is actually really, really flipping good. There's a good mixture of, of course there's going to be stunt doubles involved, but there's quite a few pieces in there where it's actually the actors doing some of their own stuff, apart from some of the more intricate moves. But it's very well done in the way that they actually hide the stunt doubles in this fight. Very, very good. So they fight, and reaching a standoff, Buffy is still unwilling to kill Angelus. She pulls the stake, ready to go for him, and he realizes and starts laughing at her. He's like, you can't kill me, sort of a thing. So she, instead of staking him, actually kicks him in the nuts. And Angelus, he might be a demon and all that there, but he still has a human body to contend with. And if you are a guy who has ever been kicked in the nuts, you're going down. You're not going to stand up from that for a while. So he goes down to his knees in pain, agony, and after saying to Buffy, you can't kill me, and she turns and walks off. She's like, give me time. So Buffy blames herself for everything that has happened, but Giles reassures her that although she has acted rashly, she and Angel loved each other, and that Giles still supports and respects her. There's a good moment in this episode earlier on where the secret about Miss Calendar been at Sunnydale High to keep Buffy and Angel apart, and everything that's happened up to this point, and the news comes out who she is. She's descended from the gypsies that cursed him. Her uncle gets killed, but you're fully waiting for Giles to back her up, her being his love interest in this series. And when they're getting ready for the final assault, she walks in, she's like, can I do something to help? And Buffy is like, get out, sort of thing. She's kind of holding a grudge against her. And Giles is standing there, and you're expecting him to be the voice of reason here, and try and bring Jenny in. But Jenny doesn't just take Buffy's word for it at the start, and she's like, I just want to try and do something to help you. And Giles looks at her and tells her, she told you to get out, and he turns his back on her. So that was an interesting little bit of character building for those two characters. And yes, so at the end of the episode, of course, Buffy's expecting him to be on his high horse about her, going off and sleeping with Angel, but he's like, if you're looking for blame, you're not going to get it from me. The only thing you're going to get is my support. You might have acted rashly, but Angel did love you. You did love each other, and he's just like, I'll support and I'll respect you. So later, at the end of the episode, of course, it was Buffy's birthday in the previous episode. So Joyce, having Joyce been Buffy's mother, I keep forgetting that you kind of have to, tell people a little bit more about the characters, who they are, where they came from. Buffy's mother lights a candle on Buffy's birthday muffin because she didn't have time, because she's working so hard to support her family. She didn't have time to buy a cake or make one, but she got 2 cupcakes, and there's a candle on the one, and she lights it for Buffy and tells her to make a wish. Buffy decides to let it burn while they watch the classic movie Stowaway. So this episode is absolutely fantastic, and it's a key moment. That's why at the beginning of this podcast I told everybody, if you haven't seen the series up to this point, this changes everything from here on throughout the rest of season 2, and it'll eventually lead into a spin-off show for Angel himself. But spoilers, I did tell you at the start, it's going to be very spoilerific. But do you know what? In this episode, Sarah Michelle Gellar as the broken-hearted teenage girl who's absolutely devastated at everything that's happened to her in this episode. There's a point where she gets into her bedroom and she finally breaks down, starts crying, she curls up in the bed. Her acting is so much better than I think she ever got credit for. Now, I might be wrong about that. I don't know what the history on awards or nominations or anything were for this series, but she is very good at emoting when she needs to. Very, very convincing performance in this episode. I absolutely loved it. So yes, definitely, if you've not watched Buffy the Vampire Slayer, you're missing out in a big bad way. Anyway, I'm going to go because I'm still recording this episode 22 minutes after it should have been uploaded. So sorry for the delay, guys. I'm crap. I'll talk to you in the next episode. This has been a production of Coins Age Media.